too close to call in Virginia.
Hi class, and welcome to my portion of our class project, Wahhabism and Human Rights. Slide 1. Abd al-Wahhab and Human Rights. Al-Wahhab voice for reform based on monotheism, where Muslims, Christians, and Jews enjoy peaceful coexistence. Al-Wahhab was a strong proponent for women's rights and balance of rights between men and women in regards to marriage, education, and public space. His writings contend that women have a place in society and that they possess rights and responsibility that society is obligated to respect and protect. He did not assert that women are inferior to men or place men in a superior position. Wahhabism believed in human rights, more specifically women's rights, equality. However, Wahhabism today puts women and human rights in a different perspective. Slide 2. Contemporary Wahhabism and Human Rights. In 2010, significant human rights problems were reported in Saudi Arabia. These consisted of freedom of speech, association, movement, and religion. Freedom of speech. Limited internet use. Muslims and Wahhabists were not allowed to speak out against government or the Wahhabist belief. Association. Work and social lives were divided by gender. Outside of the family, opposite sexes do not mingle. Movement. The government established the Committee for the Propagation of Virtue and Prevention of Vice, which is a religious police organization that keeps a watch on the Saudi public. Women are not allowed to leave an area without permission from their male chaperone, and their male chaperone can even be considered their youngest son, or go into public without permission of their male guardian. Religion. Wahhabists are intolerant of Shiism and Sufism, which are other sects of Islam. If any Muslim, especially a Wahhabist, takes part in a renunciation, which is a formal rejection of their faith, they are sentenced to death. In September 2007, the United States State Department released that Saudi Arabia is a country of particular concern under the International Religious Freedom Act. Religious freedom remains severely restricted. One example is school books historically have denounced teachings that do not conform to Wahhabist beliefs. Other examples are members of the Shiite Muslims continue to face political, educational, legal, and social discrimination. Other human rights across the board consist under the contemporary Wahhabist beliefs are outlawing the celebration of the Prophet Muhammad's birthday, banning movie theaters, public and businesses must observe prayer, and denies any Saudi citizenship to non-Muslims. Women and contemporary Wahhabist beliefs. Wahhabism in the contemporary era is largely portrayed as, gonna butcher this, misogynistic, which means a hatred of women. Wahhabism treats women as third-class citizens by imposing the veil on them, denying basic human rights like driving a car, traveling within the country, or leaving without permission from their mahram or their male chaperone. Interaction with men who are not related to them does not take place, and up until a few decades ago, women were denied public education and banned from radio and television. Women must even receive permission from a male chaperone to open a bank account, and women are not allowed to sit in the front of a car, so they can't sit in the driver's seat or in the passenger seat. They must be in the back where they can't be seen. Also, 90% of unemployment Saudis are women who are denied work. However, these women are educated. And then just a side note to show how women are treated, a tragic story on March 11, 2002, a group of high school Saudi girls in Mecca, the school caught on fire and 15 young girls died because the religious police would not let them leave because they were not wearing their abas or their black coats. So therefore, women are poorly treated and receive little to no rights in Saudi Arabia. Slide 3. Al-Wahhab's human rights versus contemporary human rights. According to DeLong, Wahhabism is currently the way it is today because of 3 reasons: Wahhabi interpretation of Islam, patriarchy, and local customs. So first, Wahhabi interpretation of Islam. Different groups interpret the religion differently. This is why we have different sects and organizations within the Islamic realm. Therefore, the Wahhabists follow the practices they do because of what they believe the Quran says and how they interpret the Quran. This interpretation may not be correct to us, however, it is their view of Islam. Patriarchy. From the tribal beginnings of Saudi Arabian culture, the male of the household has always been the head of the household and in charge. Women have always walked in the shadows of men. Therefore, this is not solely an idea based on Wahhabist beliefs. It is an idea that has been a part of the culture of Saudi Arabia since the beginning of establishment. And last, local customs. Some of the local customs have included the male in control of the household and in control of the wife. The way women dressed has always been a part of the local customs. Their dressings from head to toe. You do not offer an alcohol to an individual unless you know that individual drinks, because that is considered offensive. And then the banning of non-Islamic material has always been a part of the local customs in Saudi Arabia. Therefore, these ideas are not solely adopted by the Wahhabists because they have been a part of the culture for so long. And last, for the conclusion, all human rights in Saudi Arabia are limited under Wahhabism. However, Al-Wahhab would not have advocated for this type of oppression on the people of Saudi Arabia, and more specifically, the women. Al-Wahhab believed in gender equality and fundamental rights for the people of Saudi Arabia, for all people of Saudi Arabia. Therefore, the original intent of Wahhabism is not what we see today. However, some of the guidelines and regulations established by the Wahhabists are simply because they have been traditions of the Islamic culture for so long. The country is making small steps in the right direction. Some of the recent changes consist of government matters. King Abdullah announced that women will receive the right to vote and run in municipal elections come 2015. This is a step in the right direction towards more rights for women and some democratic policies beginning to take place. However, this is only one small step for women, and we do not know what the future in Saudi Arabia holds for mankind. Thanks for watching my section of our project, and I hope you continue and enjoy the rest.